Hi, it's the Queen of Information, psychic researcher, Michelle Birdsong. It says King of Siam's report card, Joe Friedman. As for serpent, pleasing am. Loans, pleasures, ego blown, below enter, pleasuring, enter, winter, cold and old. Guru Govinda Singh Dhillon emphasized that we have very little control of our lives. We are living in a web of karma, harmer, and you become harmed. Charmer, and you become all-powerful farmer, the provider of food, the good God. Guru Govinda Singh Dhillon, the king of everything, said we have the power to choose, but the way we judge is the way we are judged. Joe Friedman, Michelle's husband in a parallel life, says he has plenty of money. He has $1,000 in food stamps. Michelle is barely able to feed herself because she eats a bloodless diet. No animals, no eggs, nor fish, nor anything containing their essences. Her husband knows this. Joe's bed is testimony to his character. It has the impression that it holds Joe's ass. It's an asshole. When Michelle held Joe in high esteem, she posted a picture of him as a king, the king of Siam. He sighed and said, I am only able to come through intercourse. He, pleasuring, tubes his stick, his tube in her unfeeling tube, her vagina. V for vibrating, again, pleasuring, not satisfying. She at clit's succumbing, fingering, lingering. Then he succumbing with feeling as clit is receiving the pleasure of little death, a release of dis-ease, coming, a relief, coming together, going to heaven. Love, becoming the feeling of he, and he becoming the feeling of she. That is love. Giving up your identity, your PRIDE, pride, entity. Tie, alive, the bride, the groom. Entity tie, the groom, alive, the bride, for which he died, a little death inside her very breath. Breaths he gets to breathe as royalty for eternity. Reward for loving the queen. But Joe did not love the queen. He did not succumb as Michelle succumbed. He kept insisting on beating the humdrum tube into tube is his highest fun. He be eating at blood. He let into his mouth the entrance to his house, his body, identifying him as shedding somebody's blood. The eating action of the carnivore. C.A. Mother, bottom up. Mother's nature, perceiving, vibration of a recluse, order, fair, sex, life, cease, love, unused, succumb to Michelle Birdsong. He refused, crushed, weighing her down. Animal mashing a flower. Lost, king fell, lost the power, present to owe her. If he owed her, he'd have to pay her. In order to pay her, he'd have a part to play in her life as her husband, as he'd have as a wife the queen of creation for eternity, role, succumbing with the queen, the supreme pleasure, the reward for the highly esteemed. That's not Joe Friedman's reward. He gets to keep the pleasure of having so much pride he didn't even consider taking a ride to the other side where eternal bliss exists. What he gets is to be alone with his food stamp card and to fit into his bed for an asshole instead of being crowned around St. Francis of Assisi, Residence 3, as the sexiest man in town. He judged the woman, Michelle Birdsong, as a woman at St. Francis of Assisi, Residence 3, not worth dying for. Jesus Christ, being as Charan Singh wrote a book, Die to Live. Joe said he was not attracted to the woman, W. Order, Michelle Birdsong. Do you, Bublé, Michael Bublé. Add am, because Joe Friedman is not attracted to the woman. The woman is not attracted to Joe Friedman. She's attracted to Michael Bublé. Adam, Eve, to Michelle's masculine part. People present a brother therapist to love her femininity as he is more than willing to feeling her feeling as his own. In other words, to die, to succumb to the feeling. Adam gets essence transferred. They can both come together and be whole. Behold, heaven orders love and be loved in return. Love requires your everything, your pride, your willingness to die. For unless you die and take a new birth, you cannot prevail against the gates of hell and enter the kingdom of heaven. Daughters, order, match. Just Joe Friedman did not find the woman, just as Joe Friedman did not find the woman at St. Francis of Assisi Residence 3 attractive. The woman, Michelle Birdsong, does not find Joe Friedman attractive. He has no place to go when he dies the big death, the death he subscribes to. So his consciousness will wander restless as all hell. Hell, oh, he loves blood. Oh, he ate it. His karma is to be rewarded with the ability to eat blood for eternity. Joe Friedman's role is as a vampire, vibrating ample people pleasuring their veins, vibrating, pleasuring intercourse as a corpse. What is that? Coursing through body's veins as blood and coursing through as blood in somebody's veins. Vision. Einstein T. Michelle ascertained. Sir Asshole, this is your life made plain. Had you let me explain my findings at the door, you would have had a life as a human, just being poor. But you had no patience. You interrupted my less drawn-out explanation. So in writing the full explanation for the intercourse became your game. Gain. Becoming blood without a body is better than becoming pee without a potty. Guru Govinda Singh Dhillon said, the law of karma rules, whether or not you believe in it. W for White House elected the her AI appointed defense attorney and sentences judge day-to-day behavior. Be Eve, heaven's savior from those who take for granted no consequences for behavior. This is what you wanted, Joe. A written note. I explored blood, red, gourd. The price for engorging yourself with the animals who were supposed to be safe and free to pay off the karma of their destiny. This is what I know to be your role as the best you can be. The test to establish EST where you rest is a judgment of your best. They presume in life you did your best. Your role is the equivalent of your best actions in thoughts, words, and deeds, especially how you feed. Feed for death. You ate, becomes your fate. Feelings at eats. You were in purgatory, the astral plane, to have your future decided and made plain. Daughter of the sun, Eve, mother of all living, sees identified dead vibes. No place for dead alive in any tribe. The rib to begin again. You did eat. Your report is complete. You are cheap. You gave too little to reap. You cannot cheat. See, he essence at cow ass. Reap. You gave too little to reap a presence in heaven. Human being, Einstein genius. Okay, that's what being a human being is. All right, Joe, that's it. That's it. Okay, so you get to be a vampire.